Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that. All right.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
We're live. Episode, God, it's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Good job.
Ugh. It never ends.
If anyone heard that swishing sound, that was Robert's eyeball.
We're doing a bit now. See, Jessica is
How dare you? A bit.
Well, I mean, it wasn't my eyeball, but...
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
So
I can
Rob,
remove my eyeball from my head.
Rob has this thing where
I
if
have
he
a
rubs his
prosthetic
eyes,
eye.
they're extraordinarily squeaky. Like, it sounds like a cartoon squeak when you rub, like, when people get tired and rub their eyes.
I appreciate what you're doing because I often do it to you. You're setting me up for a bit that I can't deliver on.
Oh my god.
Which is,
I think it's abundantly
me.
clear that I don't do that. I can't do that. I won't do that.
But should you?
I can if you want, but I probably won't.
No, that's alright. Still, mostly I would say still a podcast with no name.
And no direction.
Well, that's what I'm implying, is that there's no... I don't know, maybe there's some merit to that, though, because old school, maybe not even old school, but like a radio show, you don't have a theme. You just talk about whatever there is to talk about that day.
Yeah.
You just talk and... Oh, God, it's 11:43 p.m., faithful listeners. Time checks. Keeping you in touch with the world around you. Maybe a thematic approach is not necessary because...
That's what I've been saying.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying maybe you're right.
I know.
I'm saying an old school radio show would just be... I mean, you'd say it's either comedy or drama, but then beyond that, you would just kind of be freewheeling and flying by the seat of your pants. I think we've kind of, because we don't have any drama going, we don't leave the house, we don't have any drama going on in our lives. I think we're kind of pigeonholed into doing comedy, but, yep.
You go on these monologues. What do you want? Continue.
No, apparently, I've been talking for too long. Butt in at any time, please.
No, why don't you continue?
I'm going to speak a little slower.
No.
So that, we can stretch this podcast. We're trying to hit, say, 45 minutes.
You and I can just babble for 45 minutes, like, in the blink of an eye. Like, it's not something we have to try to do, so I don't feel like we need to slow down our speaking voice.
You keep yelling at me for going on these monologues that I think it's the 3rd time now you've yelled at me for this in 5 podcasts, and every time I think they're under 60 seconds. So...
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't mind when you go on monologues. It's just that when I try to say something and you go, excuse me, I'm doing a thing right now, it just kind of creates a hostile
I don't think that's what just happened. And I think I have the recording to prove it. And if I don't, I'm going to edit it out in post.
Oh my god.
I'm going to tell the story I want to tell.
Mm-hmm.
History is told by the victors.
So anyway, you were saying about old-timey podcasts or radio shows.
Well, yeah, old-timey podcasts. Back from the heyday of early podcasting in 2009. My point was just that radio shows, which I've said like 4 times now, radio shows just kind of go off of conversation that day, and if you bring something to the table, then you do. As you know, I believe that radio comedy is the most interesting, the purest form of comedy that there is.
Yes, you have said that.
Do you remember why I say that?
I don't know. Because you were like, they can't rely on
every
lesser
other
visual
form of media, of performance art at least, has had a visual, probably going back to, I mean, Lysistrata was pre-Christ, but even before, like, gathering around a campfire, like, even before theater, it was someone talking and performing, doing physical in comedy's case, doing physical comedy and making faces and doing voices and combining all of that together, having a visual element which evolved into theater, which evolved into like refined theater, and then there was that brief snippet in time where you could enjoy these things, you could enjoy performance from your home via the radio before television and even before movies for probably like a decade. And then television and movies came about, and the visual element came back.
Mm-hmm.
But so in radio, I think it's that there's that probably 40 or 50 year, maybe even shorter snippet in time wherein you had a purely auditory medium where you had to entertain people without them being able to see you, and I think that creates a really A, pure, and B, unique form of comedy. Just jump in whenever you feel like I'm saying something relevant to your life. No. How's the lizard? Why don't I give you an in?
No.
Come on in.
No.
Fine. Or as you would say...
I mean, you're saying things that I've, one, already heard you say, and two, the water's fresh.
That's what you say.
It is.
It's gibberish.
I believe it wholeheartedly. The water is fresh. Come on in.
Go ahead.
So,
these monologues you go on, Jess.
I'm just saying, like, I've heard you say this before, and additionally...
Well, maybe I'm saying it for the dear reader.
That's fine, but I'm saying, like, you know, I don't disagree with you. Okay, you cannot be playing with tinfoil right now.
I'm not playing with tinfoil. I'm eating a baked potato.
You gave me shit for eating my Twix bar last episode. You are absolutely not allowed.
And you kept doing it anyway.
I had, like, 2 bites of it, and
it's a mini Twix bar. It's 2 bites.
No, not the way I take them. Please, okay? Just... For once, we record a podcast for 45 minutes a day. You can put down tinfoil. My God.
I'm gonna level with you. You oppress me and try to censor me and my behavior in a way that I'm just trying to relax in my own home.
You are exhausting.
And use a tiny fork to eat a baked potato.
I see that that's what's happening.
I think it's probably for like escargot or something.
Why do we have it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I love it. It's tiny and it's great for, although I don't know, you split open a baked potato, you can eat it with a normal sized fork. I don't know. I like little bites, you know?
That's fine, just not right now. Please put your baked potato away. I will pause it until you're done with your baked potato.
No, don't do that.
Pick an option.
It's just you do so much, I feel. You do so much to just pointlessly make my life harder.
Is it pointless?
Yes.
That we're recording a podcast and you are playing with tinfoil?
Yes. Because this podcast, as you and I think, both know in our heart of hearts, is going to be heard by no one, is an exercise in time wasting for you and I.
But can you put away the tinfoil?
Why? No. First of all, I'm not playing with tinfoil. I'm, as you can see right now, not even
Again, you were giving me shit about the Twix bar and I understood it and I didn't argue with you.
You just kept going anyway.
No, I had literally 2 little nibbles and I put it away.
You took 2... Look, Jess,
it was very brief. You're going to take 10 minutes right now to eat your baked potato.
Right, but I'm not going to be doing this every time. I brought it over to me once and now it's just here. Back to talking baked potatoes. Jess and Rob here. I'm Jess, that's Rob. See what I did? It's a joke. You have to say something.
You're upsetting. Put the fucking tinfoil away.
No, just leave me alone. Nothing's happening. Nothing matters. Nothing matters in the grand scheme of things.
Then if nothing matters, I don't want to record this at all. If it's just going to be a waste of time, idiot podcast.
It's always going to be a waste of time, idiot podcast.
I know.
You're in a bad mood. What are you doing? What's up? What's happening? What's wrong?
You're pissing me off with the tinfoil, and I feel like I listen to you, but you don't listen to
me. You don't listen. I'm putting it back. You don't listen to me. You do whatever you want, and then you retroactively, you change your memory so that it yes. Again, this is a good podcast, if only for the fact that I can now record your ne'er-do-welling and rebel-rousing and say, look, you lying sack of lying.
You also do that the whole time, which is extraordinarily distracting.
I know, and it's not distracting to anyone at all.
It's super distracting to me, who's apparently the only person that...
You have to get over it. Why don't you pick a topic?
How was your day?
My day was fine until right now.
Same.
I was having a great time. I spent the last 18 hours doing what I wanted, when I wanted, eating a baked potato in the comfort of my own home, downstairs in the kitchen, and now, here we are, I'm just getting yelled at.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I got potatoes stuck in my throat.
We could...
Shouldn't have been eating during the pot. You were right.
Okay there, little buddy?
I've been better.
Mm.
It mostly hurts my pride.
Okay.
Pick a topic. That is not... See, I said pick a topic and you said, how's your day?
We could plan our next movie. Do you have any movies that you want to watch that we could review?
You're asking me what movie we're going to watch.
Yeah.
To then
What's the
now
next...
do a review on. You want to do a movie
No.
now?
No. I'm just saying, let's pick a movie for next time.
Okay, but that'll take 15 seconds.
Yeah. This is how conversations start. We just bring up something and then we pivot.
You're right. But it's also difficult to do because we go to the movie theater and the movie theater is indefinitely closed.
It's a humongous problem.
I can't tell you what the next movie
Well, I'm saying, like, we could always just be like, you know what, I've really been... Like, Bohemian Rhapsody is a movie that's, like, on my list where I'm like, I really would like to watch that movie.
You can watch it, I keep telling you. At any time you can watch it.
My point is...
Yeah.
If you ask me, like, what are a list of a couple movies that you'd want to watch? Like, I watched, what... Do you see?
I admit you were right. I put the potato away. I can't
put the mini fork away.
Come on,
oh my god. Just don't bash it into things, okay?
I dropped it. That was an accident.
Try to not do that, okay?
Fine.
So,
I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
Big boy.
You need to be chaperoned.
I keep saying that and you keep doing a terrible job.
I can barely function as a human being.
I know.
Nonetheless an adult.
I know.
Nonetheless take care of another adult. I'm honestly surprised that they just...
None the least is what you're
looking for.
None the
lesser. They also,
none the
like...
least wasn't good enough for you?
No, it wasn't.
Can you spin that?
I feel like, again, like, the fact that I own a lizard...
Own and lizard?
Own and lizard.
Yeah.
Is just crazy. Like...
It is crazy.
The fact that they just let anybody, they're like, here, take this really expensive and also, like, very much alive animal.
Peaches cost $18,000, dear readers.
Peaches was pretty expensive for an animal. Well, actually, I mean, like, people spend a lot of money on dogs, too.
Yeah, but a dog is emotive. A dog has eyebrows and can smile.
Peaches, if you see Peaches look down at the ground, like, with his head level and his eyes just looking down, it is... the most hilarious thing. Like, you cannot tell me he's not emotive. If you see him looking down, he's just like... And also, like, when he's about to fall and his little legs go out, like, that is just...
so sad every single time it happens.
I know,
I'm stressing out.
The only time that it happens with me is when he, like, purposely walks off of my body and it's in between him doing that and me catching him.
I don't want to This is not lizard talk.
Okay.
Please.
It should be, though. But I'm saying...
You can do lizard talk with you and Peaches. You can talk to Peaches
have another podcast.
Minutes. That's fine with me.
I feel my point is I'm surprised that I am allowed to get, let's say I want a dog. I can just go to a shelter and get one.
Get a dog, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I'm not, no one knows what I'm doing and how responsible I am, and just even like my mental capacity just to understand and like problem solve.
Yeah, no, I know you're
it's incredible.
Very I don't think you're allowed to say handicapped anymore, but whatever, disabled, but near disabled in terms of your problem solving abilities.
That's very kind of you to say to me.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
No.
I was going to change the topic. So
Good.
I'm saying my overarching point was if you say, Jess, we now have a month or two to just kill time and waste away, what's your list of movies that you want to see? I could very easily just like think of a couple, which now that I am slightly on the spot, I can't. But like,
no spot.
The other day I watched What Do Men Want? And then I was thinking Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm sure there are a couple more like girly flicks that you refuse to see. There are probably a couple of like scary movies that will probably give me less of an anxiety attack, not in the theater. So yeah, I don't know if you have a list in your head of like, oh, we didn't see this in theaters, or, you know, this came out a couple years ago and we didn't see it. Like,
I don't.
Okay.
We've been doing this for a while, going to movies 3 times a week. It's been over a year.
And I think I see all the movies that you want to see because I'm very kind and generous, and you don't
just
see...
like going to you like going out.
Yeah.
You like leaving the house.
I know.
Which like a golden retriever.
Again, it is so... Quarantine is so hard.
You can go on a walk during quarantine.
It's not leaving the house that I like. It's, like, being around other people that I like. Like, I like to...
Very antithetical to the whole social distance.
Exactly. Like, I just like being in crowds. Like, even if I'm alone in a crowd, I just like to kind of be there where the cool people are, doing things. You know how it is.
Yeah,
And I like to do fun things, and, like, seeing movies I find fun, and we get our little snacks, and it becomes, like, a nice little outing, and...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're kind of running out of things to do. Oh, god damn.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I ate 6 sausages, and it's midnight, and 11:57.
No, you're getting tired. We usually go to bed at, like, 2 in the morning, 2:30, and you are pushing it back to midnight.
I don't know. Maybe I have Lyme disease.
The past 2 or 3 days you've been...
I'm not trying to push anything back.
Do you want to take a nap so that I don't have to go to bed at 12?
Right now at midnight?
Yeah.
You want a midnight nap?
You did it yesterday. You went to bed like an hour before I did.
No, I fell asleep at 12:30, midnight 30, give or take. And then at 1:30, I, still asleep, woke up to you saying, hey, you coming to bed? And I said, yeah, and then I went to bed. That's not a nap. That's me falling asleep on the couch and then going to bed an hour later.
Yeah.
When I wake up from
what do I do now?
What?
What do I do now?
Well, right this second, I think we're recording a podcast.
Okay.
It's not going well.
No,
but
it's not.
It's killing time. And
it
again...
is. I would say this is a failure of a podcast episode.
Okay. Overarching, every episode, I think, is a failure of a podcast. Back to Failure Podcast with Rob and Jess, and occasionally Peaches.
Peaches was not able to join us today.
He could have.
He was being kind of weird. Again, I think he's going to shed soon, so I think he's, like, just trying to sleep as many hours as possible.
He's being weird?
Yeah.
Did you say anything that might have offended him?
He has a personality, and he has habits, and you just don't know them, so you assume he doesn't.
I do know them. I do half the work of taking care of this lizard.
You don't.
What did you bring me downstairs twice to do today?
You cut his butternut squash.
Because you were just going to put it in the oven.
Yes. I had a hard time cutting it. But I'm saying, like, you do help me in my day-to-day activities, but I wouldn't say that you... Like, that wasn't directly interacting with the lizard.
I didn't say it was directly interacting with. I don't want to talk about this lizard.
Okay. Stop bringing him up then.
You're right. That's on me. I agree. That's on me. But here's the thing. I mentioned Peaches in very tangential terms in passing, saying, like,
and I should let it be.
And you just go, oh, yeah, haha. And then we keep moving.
Yeah.
You take any invitation you can get.
All right.
To talk about Peaches. And if I didn't stop you, you just keep going.
I do love Peaches a lot.
Which I know that. I see that. But this can't.
Okay.
No one is listening anymore.
Okay. No one was ever listening.
I know. But anyone who might have accidentally turned that dial and landed on this station, 93.3, bedtime smooth jazz is now gone.
And I've also told you, though, that, like, thinking, like I said, like, if you're not invested in the podcast or whatever, like, we just shouldn't do it.
I know, but
then you're like, no, fuck it, let's just do it. Like, yes. I said, we'll do it. But, like, in the back of my mind the whole time, I'm like, well, he doesn't actually want to do it, or, like, this actually doesn't. I know, but I'm saying, like, it psychs me out of doing this.
I know, but I having said that once, it's enough for you to have that thought in the back of your head.
Having said what once?
I once said, no, I don't want to do a podcast.
Yeah, but...
If I say no
even now, you're just like, this is pointless and we're just killing time. Which is fine. But it's hard for me to, like, justify doing it. And then...
Okay, but every time I ask you... This is nothing. We're not talking about anything right now. Like, this is not...
I know. Well, we can cut it out.
We're not going to... You have to stop...
No, I can literally just Google, like, how to edit a voice clipping, whatever.
You're trying to stop this recording right now. You're not going to put more work into this.
I would if I felt like there was, like, a point.
Okay, but two things. One, you shouldn't put more work into this. This should not consume any more of your time. One, A, whatever. B, I forgot.
Do you have any topics?
Forgot one point into it. We can just talk about any. It can be over. We could talk about. There's maybe a mile from here. It's a Christian Science building.
You love that.
I don't love it. I'm intrigued by it.
Yes.
There's a sign outside of it that says, "We have the mind of Christ," which sounds to me like they're holding it hostage in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't... Like, is that a threat? How much money do you want for it? Because, frankly, anything more than 20 large, I'm not... Like, it's interesting, don't get me wrong. I could probably make a buck off of it, but showing it, like a carny.
I mean,
saying, come on, come on.
Easter has been canceled this year, so you might have a chance.
No, Easter was not canceled.
It's canceled. No one gets to celebrate it.
Easter was not canceled.
It doesn't exist.
You can't cancel a historical date, but...
well, you can cancel a celebration of it. You can cancel the acknowledgement of it.
Yes, you can. That's true. That's fair. But
erase it from your mind.
That's fair. Where was I going with that bullshit?
You like the mind of Christ.
The mind of Christ. Right. I don't know that the mind of Christ in a jar is particular. I wouldn't really brag about that. I would brag about, like, if I had... What would you say... Let's go with this angle, because we don't have anything else to talk about somehow. What would you... You're drinking seltzer. I can't have a baked potato, but you can drink seltzer.
You're right. But see, that's how you react to that.
Next time you touch that seltzer, I'm going to throw my fork at you.
Please do. I would deserve it.
So, I wouldn't do that. Well, no, it's not. I love this fork too much.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to lose it.
What were you going to ask? You were going to ask me a question?
Right. What would you say? Because my understanding is, his feet can walk on water. I can definitely use that. His hands, I guess, can heal lepers and, in theory, bring people back from the dead. I don't know what part of his body. I don't think it's specified if he brought a man named Lazarus back from the dead, and a different guy named Lazarus he cured of blindness. I would think he did that. He likes those
Lazes. He likes the Lazes.
Yeah, in one of his when he was like 19, his ex-boyfriend was named Lazarus. It's a whole thing.
I'm sorry.
It's just a whole. He's got a lot of issues. The lost years of Christ. It's interesting. You think in the Bible there are these stories of Jesus when he was obviously baby Jesus was born under a star. It doesn't matter. But the point is that all the stories of Jesus are from when he's a kid, from when he's 13 or so, like bar mitzvah age-ish, because he was a Jew. Before that, or like the last, 6 months of his life or so, when he was approximately 33.
Oh, and like it skips from 13 to 33?
He performed miracles, and then he was crucified, and then rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. So says the Bible. Mm-hmm. So he lived to 33, 35, thereabouts, according to the Bible. And 20 or so of those years, just not there.
Unaccounted for.
They skipping entirely. The lost years of Jesus.
I mean, he probably wasn't doing anything. But he probably was just like real boring.
But if you're allegedly the son of God, how does that happen?
That's true.
How do you just not do anything until like you go on a tear?
That's true, and I'm sure that he would have the powers that he had way like as a child too, or at least as a young adult.
Yeah, I think there are some passages where I think they've been removed from most versions of the Bible, wherein he performs miracles as a child, but they're usually pretty horrific. Like I think he kills a tree, and he might kill a child. There's some
that can't be right.
Well, I mean, in so much as there's any sort of authenticity to the mysticism of the Bible. Again, real deep Bible talk here with Jess and Rob. 12:05.
Every single time we get into
dear
having
listeners, because I don't want to. I don't think talking about the lost years of Jesus for 45 minutes is a good podcast. I don't think that's smart, personally. But I don't. What the fuck do I know? But yeah, my mother's theory is that during those lost years, my mother, well, where to begin? But her theory is that devout, lifelong Catholic. Her theory is that Jesus went to the Far East and learned Reiki, and that's how he performed his miracles. That he was a very talented Reiki master, yogi. I think master. Reiki, for those dear readers, for those who don't know, is the belief that through you go to one, I think 6-hour session at Unicorn Books. At least this is what my brother did. And you know Reiki. They give you a certificate or whatever, some crystal necklace, and you can now being a Reiki practitioner, that's all it takes. You can heal people by putting your hands on them, like Jesus Christ or a Jedi. I guess. And my mother is, I think, a Reiki master, which means she can do it from anywhere. She can heal people from around the world, in theory. And my brother Greg was bamboozled into learning Reiki, and then re-bamboozled, went from being bamboozled to hornswoggled, and learned the next level, which is Reiki 2. I don't know what the difference is. I think he's the same level as my mother. He often challenges her to Reiki duels, like telepathic battles a la Eric Cartman. I think you'll be able to make a really nice collage out of the cease and desist letters that we get. Every single time I name drop a trademarked character or a company or just a better podcast.
Great.
Yeah, that'll be nice. You can make it in the shape of a middle finger, but
send it back to them.
So that's the theory of Jesus' lost years that I've heard of, this very esoteric bullshit. But what are your thoughts on the lost years of Jesus? Oh boy.
I don't have any
why
care
would you?
in the world.
No,
Yeah.
why would anyone?
You going from zero to bringing up the fact that there's
go ahead.
a church down the street.
It's not a church. It's a Christian Science meeting house. I think building.
Just for someone that doesn't want to talk about religion, it was an interesting choice.
It's not that I don't want to talk about religion. I don't think speaking about any one topic, particularly the esoteric lost years of Jesus' adolescence into his 20s, for 45 minutes is a good idea. Particularly
most
because
podcasts
neither of us
literally do that.
Right, but okay. A, we don't seem to be very good at that. B, we're not theologians.
Yeah.
You certainly don't know any. You've never been to a church service in your life.
That's true. It's on my bucket list to do so. I still need to.
Yeah, but what my original premise was, what would you think is the most valuable
part of Jesus Christ?
Part of Jesus.
You know.
The foreskin?
Personally.
He was Jewish. Is Jewish?
He wouldn't have a foreskin.
Oh, that's a good point.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, I flipped that, didn't I?
Yep. I mean, his foreskin would still exist.
Maybe that's what the Shroud of Turin was. Some got lost in translation.
I don't have any knowledge of what the fuck that is. So.
Jesus' foreskin?
No, the Shroud of Turin.
It's Jesus' foreskin, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
You heard it here first.
Okay.
And probably last. I don't think anyone's going to pick that up.
We're going to get a cease and desist letter from the Pope.
Put it on the collage. It can be
anyway,
a centerpiece.
You know that my personal preference in general is just the Jesus look. So I would say...
The Jared Leto look. He started a cult.
Leto.
I think he says Leto.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong.
I talk about him a lot.
If you say Leto, given how obsessed you are with him and given how...
No. But
he never shows up on my radar at all. If you say Leto, you're probably
I
right.
mostly, read his name in credits, and, I never hear him say his own name.
You must have watched interviews and stuff. I've seen
I see,
Fight Club.
I see his
about
Instagram lives, and he doesn't go, "Hello, this is Jared Leto." Jared Leto.
Well, he wouldn't, because it's Leto.
And his band is 30 Seconds to Mars, so he wouldn't he'd be like, "Hey,
listen, whatever his name is, he started a cult."
Actually, it was really funny. You know the way I'm obsessed with Jared Leto, but I don't
know his last name.
No, I don't I'm not. I think the people that are into 30 Seconds to Mars are real fucking into it. So they call themselves the Echelon, and people get tattoos of the little triangle.
His cult.
Sure.
He's started a cult.
I know.
They call him Prophet.
Oh no, maybe that's why I like Jared Leto so much.
Well, because you're susceptible to cult leaders?
No, I just have a thing for them from afar. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
We literally were talking about Charles Manson earlier today.
Yeah, very.
Hitler, last episode. I'm just saying.
So,
anyway.
What is it about you that makes you susceptible to mob mentality?
Again, I'm not susceptible. That's the whole point. I'm not a Nazi. I am not part of the Echelon. And I have never killed anyone for Charles Manson. I'm very much...
Wow. Put those on your resume.
I'm very much anti-cult and anti-big group in general.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
What?
I'm anti-big group in general. Doesn't really roll off
I'm
the
anti-establishment. I guess. But, so is Jared Leto's...
You're anti-mob mentality.
I get...
You're the guy who'd be driving a truck through the mob. Go back to your homes.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
I said it.
That's making me seem a little aggressive. But anyway.
You gotta be somewhere. You can't be not in the mob and not in the mob. When I say the mob, I don't mean the mafia.
Again, unless like, the D&D character that I always choose, like, I am the rogue. Like, that is...
You say always as though you have more than one.
Exactly.
You play Dungeons and Dragons
No, but I'm saying, like, my Dungeons and Dragons character of being... What am I, the what rogue?
You're a pirate.
No, but there was something... I thought it was like a... Like, you're... Someone's like a tiefling or whatever. You. Oh, it is me. Okay. Like, never mind, that isn't a character trait. That's just saying I'm a demon. Anyway... Where the fuck was... Oh, I don't know, I like the characters that are kind of like, they just do their own thing and look out for their own self-interest. Like, they're not...
3 examples. Go.
Okay, Johnny Depp in...
Johnny Depp.
As a man.
That's it.
Jack Sparrow.
Sure. How about Robin Hood?
Not really, because he has a cause.
Me whenever I go down into the Bronx. Rob.
In the hood. That's funny.
When I lived in the South Bronx.
Yeah.
That was me every day.
It was really funny because when Robert lived in the Bronx, he specifically lived in like a very teeny tiny apartment with another family, basically.
Yep.
Which
I leased a room. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right to laugh. At my past.
That's not the funny part. The funny part...
You're laughing like it's the funny part.
The funny part is that you moved into an apartment that you knew had a cat.
Yep. I thought they had 2 cats.
And you have a cat allergy.
Yep.
And the fact that you thought that was a good or even okay idea.
It never bothered me.
You said that sometimes a cat would sleep on your pillow and you'd wake up with itchy eyes.
Yeah, no. It got a reaction out of me, but that was not enough for me to say... can't live here.
And that's why I find that hilarious.
I had been there for about 2 weeks, and it was, let's say July, sometime in the summer, and it was a hot day, and I was on the 6th floor of a 6th floor walk-up with no air conditioning, so it was hot in my apartment. So I was sitting outside on my stoop at 8 p.m., eating a grapefruit, as you do.
On my stoop.
on the stoop of my building, eating a grapefruit, and just looking out at the street and whatnot. And... peeling and eating a grapefruit like an orange, and 2 big black SUVs pulled up, and 4 guys got out of it, wearing battle fatigue, combat fatigues, and they had holsters on their hips, and then another holster on mid-thigh on the opposite side of their bodies. So they had 2 guns, 2 handguns on them, and bulletproof vests. And I think memory serves, they said FBI on the back of their bulletproof vests, and.
That probably would have been the first thing to mention.
2 of them, well, I don't know, I think the gun...
You didn't see a group of guys, you saw
No, I saw
FBI.
a group of police officers or FBI agents, whatever they were, and 2 of them went around the building to talk, presumably to the supervisor, to the building super, and 2 of them came up to me and they held out a piece of paper, like a police sketch, and they said, have you seen this guy? And
Jesus Christ.
It was just like a dude... with short cornrows. I'm like, there's 6 people in my building who this could be. And I said, I don't know who this is. Because I didn't. I can't identify this person. And police officer said, all right, keep an eye out for him or something. And then I was like, all right. And then he just looked at me for a few seconds and went, how long you been living here? And I said, 2 weeks. And he laughed and walked away. I'm like, oh, God.
I'm telling you, man.
So there were other reasons why I shouldn't have been there. But
why didn't you leave right after that?
Well, I don't know. What am I going to do? Get afraid every time?
Man, the privilege of being a white man.
I don't know.
Just floating, you have this confidence that just is baffling to me that you just walk through your life unafraid all the time.
Yeah, I mean, whatever's going to happen to me is going to happen. I was walking by a park once, again in the South Bronx. I was just going for a walk, the middle of the day, too. It was a Saturday, 2 in the afternoon. And I was walking by a playground, and there were 10 very big dudes with their shirts off doing, working out on the playground, doing chin-ups on the monkey bars. And
that's cute.
I mean, it was something like doing tricep dips on the slide. I was like, what happens if a kid wants to play? But I remember walking past that, and I was like, I don't want to stereotype or anything. And I'm not going to stereotype even, but I can at least say that whatever type of person I am and whatever type of person works out shirtless on a playground, there's no overlap there. I don't even want to be around the type of person who works out shirtless on a playground. If that's stereotyping, then I'll stereotype and say that. I don't want to be here right now. I'm not saying they're going to hurt me or do anything bad. I wasn't afraid of them. I just thought, this is not the sort of scene I want to populate.
And that's what I'm saying. The fact that that's the worst possible thing that could occur in your brain. Like, oh, people not like me. I don't want that. Like,
well, not even not like me. It's just
or like people that you saw and you judged them.
Yeah.
The fact that that's like the worst possible thing is that you could find someone that you found unappealing to you.
Yeah.
And like with me, like if I walk down the street and some dude catcalls, which happens often to women, like I'm genuinely terrified to even say, "Hey, can you please not do that?"
Well, in their defense, you do have an ass that refuses to quit.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I'm not gonna lie, like another very unpopular opinion, like I enjoy being catcalled. I think it is a fun reprieve to the rest of my day, and like it kind of
fun little reprieve.
Yes.
From all the stress in your life.
Yes, exactly. Like no, but like if I like, as you know, I tend to get very like intense about things in general. So if I'm like, okay, oh my god, I'm running late. I need to get to this interview. No, not even anxiety, just like general intensity.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to a work interview. Like I, need to get there. I'm late. I need to get there quick. Am I going to smell bad? Like I need to make sure. You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of thoughts going on in my head. Like we need to put on perfume before we get there. We need to make sure, what were the list of things in your head? Like what's your resume set? Like just busy. And then some dude is like, hey, damn. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much. Like you just brought me out of my little stress bubble. And now, I'm feeling good about myself.
Feeling good as hell.
Yeah. But, some dudes get real creepy. Like if a dude follows me down the street, that's not the same thing. Yeah. But anyway, my point is that like, and I'm sure if I invested in mace or something and I had mace with me, like my ball size would grow like 10 times and I'd be able to talk back to these people. But like, I'm just saying, man, like anywhere I go, I'm like, there are people, almost every single person that exists is like larger than me, stronger than me.
Well, you're 4'11", that's what's gonna happen.
5'4". Anyway.
The truth lies somewhere between us.
Okay. My point is though that like, let's take out women, because I usually don't suspect women to, like, want to harm me, which they still could, like, rob me. But anyway, yeah, if you take men, like, they have the strength, like, the ability and the motive to, and the historical record. Like, men, most criminals are men. Like, just generally, they could want my money, they could want my body, they could want, just, they're bored. Like, there are a lot of reasons why a man could do something shitty. And
I ran out of steam on that one.
I did. I'm trying to, like... I'm sure
you don't need more than you set yourself up for failure by going.
True, they could want my body, they could want my money.
Yeah. God knows what else.
They could
use just use your imagination, dear reader.
Okay. Yeah, they could just be bad people generally.
I'm not doing all the work.
And even again, like people that are like non-white people, like any sort of minority is. They fear, first of all, they're often, like, wrongly blamed for shit that they do not do. Like, that must be terrifying to just live in a world like that. Or, like, again, like I was saying to you the other day, like, when I walk down the street and I'm like, oh, it's so nice that even when I do look sketchy, I'm such a small, unassuming person that, like, no one would ever be afraid of me walking down the street alone at night. And, like, there are people where, like, if you're walking down the street alone at night with them, you just automatically assume that they're scary regardless of what they're doing, what they're wearing, like, anything, just by, like, biases that we have. So I feel like being a white man, you just get to avoid anything you could possibly be afraid of. And it's annoying, and I hate it.
It's pretty great. If you ever get the chance to be a white man, you should really give it a try. I
just, like, mansplained white privilege. Or, like, reverse mansplain, like...
Womansplain.
Like, it makes it seem like I'm coming to the realization, like, hey, you guys, like, I know something that no one else does, and I'm going to tell you right now. Like,
You just womansplained to me what it's like to be a man.
Exactly.
Yeah. How's it feel?
I feel like it's...
Was it empowering?
Was it nice? Great. It
nice,
feels
right?
like no one can tell me what to do.
This is why I keep telling you to be a white man.
I would love.
And you keep not doing it.
I would love to be a white man.
So just do it.
I can't. I was born this way, and I feel rightfully so. Unfortunately.
All right. Well, anyway, back to Jesus. I think the easy answer is saying the most valuable part of him is the dick. If you're going for funny, I think that's the low-hanging fruit. So that's probably
literally,
false, but so to speak, dick and
again,
balls.
yeah,
the dark horse candidate is the butthole.
For me, it's like the long hair and goatee look. No, I would take.
He did not have a goatee. He had a beard. He had a big beard, like a full beard.
I've seen different versions of him.
I don't think you've seen. You're thinking of Ewan McGregor. You're thinking of Ewan McGregor in the third Star Wars prequel.
You know,
when he had the shorter hair.
He didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't have long hair.
He had long hair in the second one. He had a ponytail.
It's more like Qui-Gon.
Well, Qui-Gon did not have a goatee.
And I also was very attracted to him.
I don't think Qui-Gon had a goatee.
I'm almost...
He had a beard. I don't think he had a goatee.
Whatever. The beard is fine. The long hair beard look.
My question was, what part of Jesus would perform the most interesting miracles? And you started listing...
No, you said what part would be the most valuable. And I say the most valuable to me...
For the premise of what miracles they could perform. And you started listing off the parts of
Jesus that I'm
Christ
sexually attracted to.
Yeah, that you want to fuck.
You said his dick.
Right, and I understand why you got confused.
Oh my god.
From there. But now that we've cleared it up, again, the dark horse candidate is the butthole. What would the butthole do? I would think that every single shit Jesus took, he just stood up and walked away. Never needed to wipe.
I would want his hands.
What do you think?
I'm just going to barrel right through the fact that you said all of that.
Rude.
I didn't like it.
I'm setting up the premise here, and you're just...
His hands, because they can heal people, bring people back to life, and make food from shit. Maybe that's what his shit turns into. It's just...
We're doing shit talk now?
Yeah.
Now we're doing shit talk?
Shit talk with Rob and Jess. That should be our podcast. We'll just shit talk people. Okay.
He can turn things into food? What?
Yeah, like, couldn't he, like, if you take...
One of his miracles was multiplying food. Or...
I thought he could make food from nothing.
You're thinking... two things. You're thinking of Harry Potter. B, food is one of the 5 universal exceptions to Gopp's rule of transfiguration. Gopp's? You can't make food out of nothing. Okay. In the Harry Potter verse, you can't... If you know where it is, you can bring it to yourself. You can multiply it. Again, a lot of the... I think in the 6th year of the Harry Potter books, in one of their classes, they turn water into wine, or maybe vinegar.
Okay.
A lot of the miracles of Christ are mirrored in the curriculum of Hogwarts.
Let's discuss that.
That's it.
Okay.
If you have more, by all means.
Let's
Do you think J.K. Rowling is
draw comparisons between Jesus Christ and Harry Potter?
Cage match.
No.
What do you mean no?
That's not.
It's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's my podcast too.
Who and who?
Who do you think? Jesus Christ and Harry Potter.
Oh, I thought we were going to be like a character from Harry Potter.
Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant?
No, I thought we were going to do Voldy.
No.
Or Dumbledore. I don't know.
If you want to pick... Fine, let's do Jesus Christ. Peak of his powers. Golden Age Jesus Christ. 4 days before he was crucified.
Okay.
He knows it's coming down the pike. He goes to the Garden of Gethsemane with Paul and whoever else. John, I don't remember, and they all fall asleep. It doesn't fucking matter. Jesus at his peak.
Okay.
Saying that the flesh is weak. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Against?
Dumbledore. It's 2 years before he dies. Spoiler alert, Dumbledore dies.
2 years?
Yeah, because 6 months before he died, he had that fucked up hand.
No, I know, and also he's just generally old.
Well,
wouldn't he be stronger younger? I guess
no,
not.
he learned more.
Yeah.
He fought and successfully fended off Voldemort in the 5th book.
Oh, he did?
A year before he died, yes. Pick your Dumbledore. I don't give a fuck.
We can do the 2 years before death.
2 years, he has access to, if he wants, 2 of the Deathly Hallows. He has the Elder Wand. If you pick young Dumbledore,
wait.
I don't
know why I'm doing this. I don't care about this cage match.
Okay. Cage match between Dumbledore and Jesus Christ. Who do you think wins? I think Dumbledore 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I would say so too. Jesus Christ wasn't...
The difficulty is that Jesus can come back from the dead.
So can Dumbledore.
He can't. He can't and didn't. How do you kill... Maybe turn him into a frog?
I mean, doesn't he die? He came back from the dead and then was re-killed, right?
I'm sorry? Who are we talking about?
Jesus.
Right, that's my point.
So he comes back from the dead, but then they're go be dead again.
No, he ascended into heaven because he was God. He didn't die again. He ascended into heaven to sit at The right hand of his father.
So he's gone, though.
Got what?
So he's gone.
He's gone, but he's not. You can't kill him if he doesn't want to be killed.
Here's the thing
you can't keep him dead.
I don't think that's true. I think.
Although if the cage.
I think.
I'm not. Jessica, you've never been to church in your life.
Do they have a sermon about how once Jesus is dead, he can choose to stay dead?
The whole point was that he could come back to life. He can come back to life as many times as he wants.
I guess they do. Like, the only reference I have for that is South Park, and he does come back to life very frequently to help out.
Yes, and then he cuts Bill Donahue in half with a ninja star. Very true to form.
That's a good point. Here's my issue with Jesus as well.
Go ahead. Go in.
Is that...
This shouldn't ruffle any feathers.
Is that you, again, as you've mentioned, I have no knowledge of Jesus or his like, you know, like, other than what they taught me in my one religion class in high school. He is the Son of God, but he also is God himself.
Yeah, he's the avatar of God in human form.
That's bullshit. You either are the Son of God or you are God. You can't just be both. That's not a thing.
Through Christ, all things are possible.
God damn it.
Jot that down. Hey, whoa. Whoa. Getting a little self-referential here. But I would just say, can I help you?
Robert just whipped his balls out.
You're going to make me look like a creep. To the dear readers. My balls are not out. As you can see, Jessica, as you can clearly see. See, here's the thing. You played this smarter than I did, I think. I'll give you props.
Shockingly.
I'm going to stab you with my tiny fork.
Fucking do it.
No, I love this little guy. But I'm going to make a
He's
comeback.
not referring to me.
No. My tiny fork. They know.
Okay.
They know.
All right.
You played this smart by playing dumb the first episode or two.
How dare you?
You did. You're like, oh, I don't know. I can't do improv. I don't know any of this stuff. Like, I can't keep up. And then you throw me under the bus, and people think that you're telling the truth because, oh, I can't come up with characters and ideas and stuff. So then you say stuff like, oh, his balls are out now. When I say that, they're like, Jessica's balls are still in her pants. But when you say that I took my balls out, people are like, oh, I guess he must have taken his balls out. So I look like the creep. You, I think, maybe unwittingly, you played this, you slow-rolled me. I don't appreciate that.
His hair's also in a ponytail, which isn't embarrassing. It just is the case.
Okay, but now they're not going to believe you because
they don't know anything.
My hair is not... Well, it's probably is long enough for a ponytail, actually.
We put your hair in a ponytail like last week. You know it's long. You and me.
I didn't know such a thing.
Me and all my friends.
I didn't know such... Again, see, this is... I think you're overplaying your hand now.
We sometimes put beads in it and stuff. When
see,
we put
this,
it in
they know I don't have dreadlocks.
No, we braided it. We don't have to dread it.
Who's ever put I don't think I've ever had a bead in my hair my entire life.
That's like really in fashion.
I'm not saying it's not.
I'm just saying.
In fashion, I'm saying I don't think I've ever done it or would even know how to do it.
I did it.
A la Michael Scott. You did it to yourself?
To you.
You didn't. Okay, see, again, Jessica. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. No,
you're just denying everything.
Rest in peace to Kenny Rogers. I know, because you're spouting gibberish. He died like 2 days ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's Kenny Rogers?
You got to know when to hold them.
I saw he was the country singer with long hair.
He did have long hair for a while.
Bro, I literally am pretty sure, was he the red-headed something he was known as?
He was best known for having white hair, actually. The red-headed what?
I don't think we're talking about the same person.
What's going on?
I don't know. I watched an episode of Monk.
Yesterday,
and it was about Kenny Rogers. I thought.
It's possible. He might have had red hair when he was younger.
He didn't have white hair.
I don't...
He had brown, like, just really brown hair.
When he was younger, probably.
No, he was, like, old. He was, like, 50, 60.
Oh, sure, but how is that...
I don't know. I could have sworn it was Kenny Rogers.
I'm saying it might have been. It probably was.
I don't know.
I'm saying before he had white hair, I don't think he was born with white hair.
No, obviously, but I feel like he would have had white hair by the time that he was the age that he was when I saw him in Monk.
Why? You're saying the person you saw in
Monk
was 50
know. When you're
60.
like 60 years old, I'm assuming you're white.
Okay, why do you think the person in Monk was 50 or 60?
He was wrinkly.
So, okay, so you're not saying he's 50 or 60 because I just told you Kenny Rogers died at 81. You're saying you watched the episode of Monk, saw this person, and immediately thought, oh, whoever this is 50 or 60.
Yeah.
And this person has brown hair.
Yeah.
But you can't reconcile the fact that Kenny Rogers at 50 or 60 might have had brown hair.
I just feel like if your hair is going to turn white, it would probably turn white way more.
No.
Don't laugh at me.
No, you're saying preposterous things. No.
I know a lot of people in their 30s and 40s that have gray hair.
Sure, some people go gray prematurely. That's why it's called going prematurely.
I don't think 40 is premature gray.
40 is probably not to start having gray hair, but there are people into their early 50s who certainly have...
I'm going to look him up after this episode. I think it was Kenny Rogers. He was a country singer.
Yes, Kenny Rogers was an old-time...
Anyway, I saw an episode of Monk that he was in, and I was like, oh, he died.
Talking Monk.
A couple days ago.
Back to Monk chat. Jess and Rob.
I don't really have any... Oh, I have a lot of opinions about Monk, but...
I've never seen an episode of Monk in full.
So it's not
So I don't know that I can really chime in here.
Well, you can. Here's the thing.
12:32, dear listener.
I don't know if we can talk about this, so we can cut this podcast off right here in post. But Monk has OCD.
Sure.
I'm sure you know where I'm going with this.
Go ahead.
You dated a lady.
Take me there anyway.
That had OCD.
See, here's the problem. I think it's fine if you don't use her name.
Okay.
And
I didn't.
I don't know. I that maybe feels odd because it's. I mean, to say that I think is fine. To say I dated someone who had OCD is fine. To then talk in detail.
And we don't have to talk about her.
About her OCD.
No, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. I'm saying as someone that spent a lot of time with someone that has OCD.
Sure.
Again, you have a better kind of sense of the day-to-day that they go through.
I mean, I guess, but my understanding of Monk, having never seen an episode of it, start to finish, is that his OCD is crippling.
For sure.
Very severe.
And it's trauma-based. It's not like I was born with OCD.
None of that is relevant to my experience.
But you could still... Here's the thing.
Nor do I think that makes for good television. Something that I could say... Like, if I saw a television show and a character happened to have Crohn's disease... I would watch
the shit out of that. I'd be like, representation.
Fine, but you have Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
I'm saying for me, I wouldn't be like, oh, I know my girlfriend has Crohn's disease. I'm thus invested in the show. It wouldn't really pull me in. Well, I don't.
Or like, I'm just saying, if you were put in a situation where all of your friends were watching that show, and you walked into the room, and you were like, that's not what it's like to have Crohn's disease. Like, you still have a different, so... Yeah. I'm sure I've met people with OCD that I'm just, like, not able to, what's the word?
Recognize?
No, like, I'm not able to, like, remember them now. Recall. There it is. I don't have,
remember was fine.
I'm not able to remember specifics, but, like, I am almost positive I've met someone with OCD. And, yeah, it just... I feel like, first of all, like, they're really mean about it, and they keep calling him, like, what was the slogan that you said when I first brought up Monk? You were like, oh, the defective detective, I think is what they call him.
I did not say that.
Okay, I thought you said something along those lines, but...
No, I said he has OCD complex.
Oh, they call him, like, the defective detective and stuff, and it's just, like, they're really mean about it, and I feel like that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I would understand how someone who's normal would be like, oh, wow, this guy is not normal, let's make fun of him.
You relate to that?
No, I understand that would be the thought process. But then when they figure out his wife died, and it completely, like, tore his life to shreds to the point where he wasn't functional, and ever since then he literally has, like, crippling OCD, and they find that out, and then they still make fun of him. And it's like, wouldn't you be sympathetic? Like, wouldn't that kind of... I don't know.
I don't mean to beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
I have no opinions on Monk.
It was the 90s, I guess. Also, like, my thing, too, like, I'm already on season 2, and, like, it's kind of shitty that they're gonna make 10 seasons of this, where it's, like, this poor guy just is suffering the entire time.
Just gonna stop talking about Monk. I got nothing. You can keep talking about Monk, but I can't respond.
You absolutely can. You can be like, yeah, that seems like a weird, like, thing to make a show. Like,
but I can't
you absolutely can.
Specifically.
But you can have opinions about
it. Okay, but I don't. This seems like as good a place as any to stop this podcast because we're
at 54. I told you we could very easily kill at least 45.
55 cheese Louise.
Although, to be fair, we're going to have to cut out like 20 of those minutes.
We won't.
We should.
Yeah, sure, but we're... Okay. Fair enough. Later, pod racers.